All right, everyone, welcome to your last video SolidWorks lecture where we are going to be creating a model microscope. Now, this is going to be by no means functional, but it is going to be a good way to cover some additional features of SolidWorks that we have not yet gone over. Starting off with a part, waiting for it to load. We are going to start with things that are very familiar to us at this point. A corner rectangle started on the top plane, and we're in units of IPS, inches. We are going to create a 12 by 6 rectangle, just like so, 12, and this side is 6. We are then going to extrude both faces to be 1 inch in depth. Good, now we have a rectangle, or as we called it in the last video, a hospital bed backing. I forgot what we even called it. In both corners, we are now going to sketch a 2.5 by 1.5 rectangle. What I mean by that is we're going to select rectangle, select the surface, and here we are going to do 2 rectangles. So we're going to do one here. This will be 2.5. This side will be 1.5. We are going to then do that again on this side. Make sure you are selecting the corner. It should glow with a small orange dot. 2.5 by 1.5 here. Just like so. All right, now we are going to extrude both of these up by 3 inches. So let's go into features, extrude both space, and set this to 3 inches like so. Great. Now we are going to use a sketch tool called Spline. This is something we have not done before. So let's go ahead and go into Spline. And this is, you're gonna get to be a little bit creative with this. You're gonna select the top corner. We're just gonna drag it out like so and add a little bit of geometry. You want to make sure that the end point is at this orange dot right here. That will align it to the base of the sketch, at least the sketch surface. Now, once we have our spline drawn, some curvy edge like that, we are going to then use the normal line to trace the outside edge like so. Now what we can do is take the extruded cut feature, select this surface, and we are going to extrude cut it all the way through. Now we have this cool kind of wavy splined feature. What we are going to do now is add in a plane. Let's see, reference geometry right here, plane, and we're going to go right here. We are going to put it into the center of our shape here. So we know that this was 2.5 inches across. The whole thing is 6 inches. So that means that the center will be another 0.5 inches across. 0.5, and now it is exactly in the center of the shape. We are now going to mirror this cut extrude over to the other side. So make sure cut extrude is highlighted. Now we are going to do mirror feature right here, mirror, across this plane. Hit OK. And now we have our kind of wavy sort of geometry on both sides. Now what we are going to do is draw a center line from the top of here. The way we're going to do that is sketch here, center line. We're going to select this inside face. Now this is a little bit awkward to work with because of the angle, but we are going to just draw a center line. We want to make sure it stays perpendicular. This little yellow line should pop up. We're going to smart dimension this to be 0.8, just like that. Now we are going to take a circle and find the center of the center line. It should highlight as a little yellow box like this, and we are going to draw a circle with a diameter of 0.6. Like this, 0.6. And now we are going to extrude cut it. Now, we have used extrude cut before, but a cool feature of extrude cut is that we can add an additional direction, so we can have it go through the opposite side as well. So now what we have is a base plate, a 2 kind of wavy, cool geometries, and a hole of 0.6 inches in diameter all the way through it all. Now we are going to move on to our next part. We are going to save this as microscope base. And as in previous videos, I've already made this part, so I'm going to call microscope base 1, but go and just call it microscope base on your end. We are going to now make a new part that is called tube filler. So this is what we're going to put inside the tube when we are attaching the piece to the base in an assembly. So this will be the easiest part we're going to make in this video. It will simply be a circle of 0.6 diameter that we will then extrude to be 1 inch, just like so. Let's go ahead and save this now, save as, and we can call it tube filler. Tube filler 1, you guys call it tube filler. All right, now we are going to start making a more complex geometry. All right, now that we are in a new part, we will create the base to the framework. So normal kind of base work of it, we are going to create a rectangle that is a 1x4 sketch, 1x4 rectangle that we will extrude 1 inch, just like so. Now we are going to, from the bottom or the top, I guess we don't really have a top or bottom orientation set yet, we will do a center line from the center of this line. Let's select the surface. The center of this line, a little orange box should appear when you're at the center. We're going to draw this out. Smart dimension this to be 2.6, like so. And then we are going to draw a circle right here. And this will be a circle with a diameter of 6.6 inches. We are now going to extrude cut it all the way through the surface, and now we have a rectangular prism with a hole in it. Now what we are going to do is, on this top surface, we are going to extend off of this. So first, let's do some sketches with some center lines just to get a rough geometry of it, like that. And now we have 2 points. From these points, we are going to draw 2 midpoint lines, making sure that they are 180 degrees. We're going to go there, and then we are going to smart dimension this to be 3 inches across in total. So with the midpoint line, I guess you need to adjust the center. So we are going to do an additional midpoint line. Smart dimension this to be 3 inches across. And so we see how the right side extends like this. Let's find the mid right here, and let's set the midsection to align to here. So we're going to smart dimension this to be 0. And now it shifts the midpoint line right in place where we want it. We are going to do that again at the bottom here, where we will just align it. Let's see, about right here. And so we see how it's already black. That means that it is fine in that position. Let's smart dimension it, just make sure it is 3 inches as we want. Perfect. Now let's take 2 normal lines and connect these 2 open ends, just like so, and just like so. And now we see that it is an opaque blue. That means that it is fully connected. It is a closed shape. And now we are going to extrude this 1.87 inches up. Now we are going to add in our kind of specimen dish. So let's do a sketch on this surface here, where we will do a rectangle from this end all the way to this end right here, just making sure that we are connecting everything like so. Let's then smart dimension the length of it to be 0.25, just like that. Now we can extrude both spaceless, making sure it's in the right direction. It is to be 4 inches long, just like so. And now we kind of see it coming together, so it's going to fit in our base right here. We are going to then stick the tube filler through there to hold it in place. This will be our specimen holder. Now we are going to extend off the top exactly how we will hold the magnifying lenses as well as the viewing lens. We're going to use a feature that we have not touched yet in these sketch tools. So starting off with just a normal line, we're going to select this side surface. I am going to change the orientation just so that it is easier to view. So starting at this sketch surface, we're going to select this corner and go up by 1 inch. So we're going to draw a few lines, and then we're going to use a new feature, a new tool called Sketch Fillet, which is going to round a corner for us. So 1 inch up. And then we are going to do the same thing with a center line. We're going to go 1 inch up from that, just like so. We're going to call that 1 inch. And then we are going to go across 1 inch, just like so. And then we are going to do one last normal line this time that goes across 1 inch, like this. Call that 1. And now we're going to utilize this tool called Sketch Fillet, where we're going to select this sketch line and this sketch line. as we see the geometry that it's trying to form, we're going to set the parameter to be 1 inch. So this will be a rounded edge. Now we are going to offset this surface to be 1 inch, just like this. We will then connect the line here, just like that, and we will connect this line here, just like that. Now the opaque blue is appearing. That means that it is solid, and now we can extrude it. So we're going to extrude it in this direction to be 3 inches across so that it fills it. Great. Now what we're going to do is cut a 45-degree angle from the surface of this. So we are going to draw a line from this corner, selecting this surface, from this corner down. It will auto snap at 45 degrees right here. And now we are going to complete the triangle just with 2 additional lines. Now we are going to extrude cut it like that. And this looks perfect. All right, now at this curved edge, the last step of this part, we are going to add in a kind of knob holder for where we will put the magnifying lens part. So let's do some center lines to get the center point of this surface. Kind of move your mouse around until this orange line pops up, and we're going to go down. And then I like going to find the center line. You can go across and then go across once more, ensuring that it is all perpendicular. Now this point right here is the center. We are going to draw a 0.2 inch diameter circle, just like this, 0.2. And then we are going to extrude this to be 0.25, just like so. Now your shape should look like this, and this will be the finished part that will then insert into the first part we made. Let's go ahead and save this as the base to the framework. For me, of course, base to the framework 1. For everyone watching, base to framework. Moving on now, we are going to do the eye viewer. So let's do a new part where we are going to, of course, start with a rectangle, which will be a 3 by 4, 3 inches by 4 inches, and we are going to extrude this 0.8 inches, just like so. Now we are going to cut a 45-degree angle on one of these ends. Let's just choose the left end that I'm looking at. So let's select the surface and go here. Let's see if we can make it snap. So 135 is equivalent to 45, just in the opposite direction. We're going to select all these edges, extrude cut all the way through, like so. And now we should be at this point. Now on the opposite side, we are going to find the center of this surface. Again, using our center line hack, we're going to go down from the top. Then we can go across just like this. Now we know our center line is right here. We are going to draw a circle that will go all the way to the edge. And so just clicking the edge, it should auto snap to be 0.8 inches in diameter. Now we are going to extrude this 4 inches out from the surface. So we want to make sure we're going in the right direction, and then we're going to hit 4 inches just like so. Rebuild errors. Intended cut. Oh, my bad. I hit extrude cut instead of extruded post base. We want to extrude it outward 4 inches, just like that. Now we're going to mess around with this fillet tool to make this look a little bit more sleek, right? We don't want too many sharp edges on medical devices, so we are going to just hit these edges. So edge 1, edge 2. We can select this whole surface here. So edge 2, face 2, and we're going to select these edges on this side as well, just like this, and we can hit OK. And now we see some smoothed out geometries. We can even mess around with how rounded it is. So if we were to make it like 0.2 inches radius, now it's even more rounded. And I think I like the look of that maybe a little bit better than 0.1. All right, let's go ahead and save this part now as the eye viewer. And now we are going to make the last part of this tutorial before we put together the assembly, the eye magnification. So this will be a circle that has a diameter of 3 inches. 3, and we are going to extrude it 0.25 inches out. Just like that. Now we are going to find the center of the circle. It should automatically pop up, but we are going to select the surface, and we are going to draw an additional circle of 0.25 diameter, and we are going to cut this through all the way. Extruded cut. Just like that. Fantastic. Now we're going to do maybe what I'd call intermediate geometry. We're going to go to Sketch, Centerline, and we are going to select the surface. Now we're going to use this internal circle as reference, so there are these 4 markings that pop up. We are going to draw kind of out like this, and then we're going to do the same thing on this bottom side and connect it. Making sure it is perpendicular, it should say 90 degrees, just like that. All right, and now we are going to do some work with normal lines. We're going to start at this point. We are going to do a midpoint line that will go across. We want to make sure it's at 135 degrees, and this will be 0.35 inches long. So it will be, let's go ahead and smart dimension it to be 0.35. Sorry, not 25, 0.35. Like that. From here, we are going to go perpendicular like this, and then we are going to go perpendicular to the other line, just like this. And now we're going to connect it, and now we have a shape. Let's go ahead and extrude this now, 0.4 inches up, just like so. This is what it should look like at this point. And we will now chamfer it. So opposed to filleting, where it will, or fillet, where it will make a rounded edge, we are going to make a slanted edge. Making sure we select the correct edge to start on. It will be this far edge, and it will be a 0.7 inch at 29 degrees. Just like this. Let's see. We want to make sure we are in the right direction, so this arrow should be pointed sideways. So 0.7 inches, like so. And now we have this slanted kind of shape. We are going to draw on this surface a center line that will be, why is that where the origin is? Wait, did I mess this up? Okay, that's where the origin is. Let's look at it again. I'm not sure why the origin is popping up right there, but it shouldn't be a problem. It's more of a curiosity. So we are going to go all the way down from the origin point to the bottom point, and we are going to sketch a circle, but we need to find the center of this. So let's go ahead and do so. We can see that it is right here. So let's draw a circle right here, and we will smart dimension this circle to be 0.8 inches, just like that. Now we are going to extrude this 2 inches outwards, like so. All right, we have one. We are going to install another one. Imagine using an actual microscope, you can rotate the magnification. So we're going to put 2 magnification settings on here. Let's add in a reference geometry, a plane, from this flat surface that will go out 0.18 inches, and that will place us directly in the center of our shape. Now we are going to click on the Bose Extrude 2 and do a mirror about this plane that we drew. That will save us some time instead of redrawing. And now we are going to replicate the chamfer that we made here. Selecting the outside edge, going in this direction, 0.7, 29 degrees. It saved the settings we had from last time, so that saves us a moment to not input those. Now let's do another center line here, where we will go from the origin, like so, And now we want to find the center point as well, so we could draw the circle. So let's do another center line from the orange square that pops up right there. And we're going to just go outwards. Now this one will be a diameter of 0.6 instead of 0.8. And I know this is kind of confusing at this point. It's like, why are we doing all this? Well, it will make sense in the assembly. Now we're going to extrude this to be 2 inches out, like so. Now if we take a look at this, we have this sort of shape. Let's go ahead and fillet this now. Fillet it just to make it look a little bit cleaner. We're going to select this edge, as well as the bottom edge here. And we're going to make it be 0.1 inch fillet. And now it's just a little bit rounded. It looks a little bit nicer. We could also fillet the sharp geometries here, but I will leave that up to you guys. You can totally do that. It will not make the part unusable. It is kind of up to you as a designer if you want to fillet the edges of these rough geometries. Let's go ahead and save this now as our eye magnification 1. Great. Now let's go into our assembly. So we're going to do new assembly. Okay. And now with this assembly, unlike the last one where we inserted multiple of the same parts, we are going to insert only one of each part. So we have the base to the framework, the eye magnification, the eye viewer, the microscope base, and the tube filler. We are going to open all of these into our SolidWorks model here. Great. And now because the framework was the first one, it is fixed, we're going to float that, and we are going to make the base fixed right off the bat. Now we are going to do some mates here. So we are going to set the base of our framework to be connected to the base here. We are also going to go ahead and rotate this just so that it's facing the correct direction like this. We are then going to do an additional mate. Mating, we want this outside edge to be aligned with this outside edge. Good. And now if we were to try to move it around, it still goes side to side. So what we need to do as well is face to face. So we're going to select this face and then also this face here. Good. And now we see our holes are misaligned. That's because we did face to face. If we want to delete a mate, we can go into it and delete it like so. And now we can move it around again. We are going to rather do a coincident mate, or sorry, concentric mate. So that's kind of circle to circle instead of face to face. So we're going to do this circle right here to be aligned with this circle here. Let's go around. Sorry, I'm working without a mouse here. Let's set this edge here. Let's see what's going on. All right, let's delete these mates. Let's start this over. Close. I apologize. All right, let's bring our piece back over. And let's do our concentric mate first. So we're going to do this edge here to this edge here. Just like that. Okay, and now if we want to rotate it, it rotates around freely. We are going to set the bottom of this piece to be connected to the base here, like so. All right, now we have our piece kind of locked in place. If we try to move it, it can't move. Now in real life, we would also want a component like this ring here to fit inside of this hole in order to keep it from moving as well. So we're gonna just throw this in like this. And now with this piece, we can notice that we can drag it I guess we can't. Let's see, let's delete that mate. Oh, I see, because it's a coincident mate instead of a concentric. My mistake. We want to do mate concentric here to the inner ring here. And now this allows us to pull it in and out, but we want to lock it in place. So we can do now a concentric mate from here to here. And now it is not locked in place. Let's see, why not? Let's delete that. Actually, this is a good time. It's a little bit of improv, but it's a good time to show an additional mate type. So we see that it is in place. Now we can go to mate and simply select it and hit lock. Now, if it is locked in place, we can lock it to here. Now it is not able to be moved. It is locked in place completely without a specific relation. Okay, now let's do an easy one. That will be this surface here of our magnifying lenses to be on this surface here. And then we will just kind of move it in place, and we're going to rotate it around like so. Let's see. Let's put it in the correct orientation before we declare that mate. Move component, rotate it like so. And now let's redo this mate. So a lot of SolidWorks is trial and error, which really comes with experience. When something goes wrong or doesn't work as expected, the experience comes in and allows you to troubleshoot it and fix it pretty quickly. It's really rare that a SolidWorks assembly is done without any sort of roadblock. And so here we now have our telescopic kind of magnifying lens that we can see is free to rotate around. All right, our last component here will be our viewing lens, which we will attach at the top here. But first, let's kind of rotate it in the orientation that we want it. And we are going to do a coincident mate from the bottom of it. Let's just get a view of it, the bottom of it, to the top of this surface. And now it is free to rotate. We then want to do this edge to this edge, and lastly this edge to this edge. Now it fits in place. All right, and so here we have our model microscope with an articulating, that's a good vocabulary word. Articulating means that it has a motion. Think of your fingers or toes, they are articulating about joints. This is articulating about a central joint axis. This is the end of this SolidWorks tutorial, developing and creating a model microscope. Again, this is not entirely functional. There's quite a bit more detail that would need to go into modeling a real microscope, but hopefully everyone watching learned a few new tips and tricks when modeling your own SolidWorks parts. All right, thank you everyone for watching. Again, whether you're watching this at noon or 3:15 a.m., I hope you have a great morning, evening, or night. See you, everybody.